All right. We're live on the internet.
Do
Also,
you want to do an
already there in
intro?
chat.
Do you want to do an intro? Shall I do an intro?
You gotta do the intro. That's how this works.
Uh,
Six
but
plus
but
years, and I.
you're a Twitch streamer now. Shouldn't you be able to do a
Yeah, but
welcome back to the channel thing?
you do our intro, and in 6 whatever years, I've never learned it.
Yep. Okay, cool. Guys, it's bonus content time. We're gonna do a bingo card check-in. It'll be the last check-in before the end of the year, the bingo card wrap-up. So grab a cup of tea, some knitting, some crochet, a donut. I don't know where you are in your day. And let's talk all things bingo card. One of these days,
Bingo
I'm going to make
cards.
Diana do the intro. She's got to learn how. This is my way of
No,
going, you need an intro.
no,
I've seen your intro
no.
for your Twitch streams.
It's no. It's just
Yeah,
no.
yeah. We need to work on that. We need to
Also
work
says you
on
don't listen
it.
to your partner. I am shocked. Shocked, I say. I'm also shocked and appalled.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh. That's right. She gives me nothing but grief, people. This is why I send her a whole bunch of, hey, can you help me do this?
Uh huh.
requests. It's the balance. How am I warm?
I am also warm. I'm also shedding hair like crazy. So if I'm suddenly just like looking like I've got spider webs on me, it's because it feels like I've got spider webs on me. It's not spider webs. It's just my own hair,
Your
but
hair's
it
just
feels like
decided
spider
that's
webs.
it. It's given up the ghost.
It is given up. I should have washed it this morning and I didn't. Oh well.
I have that wonderful staggered halo thing effect going on because well, I'm growing in gray hair, so I'm in my 40s. Like that's what you do, right?
Yeah.
So wherever the your gray hair starts to grow in, that join between the gray hair and your original color is weak. So and I'm not gentle with my hair, so like they break all the time. Don't care. Doesn't seem to matter how much hair I shed from my head. This thing doesn't get any thinner. Okay, cool.
Mm-hmm.
Perming it didn't even kill it. I tried that too. That didn't work either. So whatever. But it does mean that if I don't braid my hair when it's damp, I
It
get
just
all
doesn't
these
braid.
little. No, well, no, it won't. I have very stick straight hair. She doesn't. If it is not braided when it's wet, it does not go into a braid. Um, I have that kind of thick straight hair people advertise in hair shampoo commercials. It's really weird. But the halos start to pop up on the top of my head, and I can't see them. So if I'm just gently like putting a hat on or something or moving around, I will feel them brush against things. Freaks me right out. Ah,
What's on my head?
what's on my
Got
head?
spiders on my head.
No, it's just my hair. It's just my hair changing
Yep.
color because that's the stage I am at in my life. As a point of note, guys, I am stoked to be gray haired. I cannot wait. I cannot wait to have a big old mane of silver hair, silver
I'm
gray
so
hair. I
excited
am,
to dye it fun colors without destroying it with bleach.
oh, dyeing that bad boy. I'm gonna have rainbow mermaid hair. I'm not even gonna care. My niece has already accepted the fact that her aunt is gonna be very weird when she's in her 60s.
Oh yeah.
As long as you understand this going in. We may or may not get an irate tiny dictator. I cracked the window open in the office. We were napping.
How dare you?
How dare I? Also, it's one day before grocery day, and my God, do I want chocolate? I want like a chocolate cake, or I want a hot cocoa, or I want a fancy coffee, or like a bagel and a fancy hot chocolate, like something. You don't get
We
that
got
one day.
we got a discount coffee crisp cake at the grocery store the other
Ugh,
day.
must have
It
felt
was all right.
nice.
It's all right. ten
I
dollars
can't
off
even.
if you eat it tonight. Oh no, I guess
Yeah,
we have to eat a coffee crisp cake really fast.
gosh darn.
I mean,
Hardships.
it's grocery store cake, so it's like it's fine. It was cheap,
Right.
and we wanted
Quite
cake.
frankly. That's how you do it. I would make my chocolate um what's the word? Slab cake, I think is what it's called. It's the old-fashioned grandma cakes that come in the 8 by 11 pan.
Yeah, yeah,
They get iced in the pan. I make a
yeah.
chocolate one and it's amazing, but it's
Mmm.
even better with ice cream.
Oh.
And I don't have ice cream.
Also says I
Do
have
you
lots of gray
see?
hair, so I'm back to all the colors. Next time I'm planning on purple since Advent is close.
I know, it's the just I just can't wait. I cannot wait. I mean, right now most of them look like really blonde highlights, which makes sense. I have blonde highlights. But I am told when you get really close, like inappropriately close to the top of my head,
Uh-huh.
you can see that I have gray hairs, and I am darn proud of that. Took me a long time to get here.
Nikki says, my husband says it's my superpower. I grow Stelina.
You gross, Stelina. I love it.
I grow Stelina too.
Yeah, that's
Got a whole streak of it right
wonderful.
here.
I think gray hair
I
is
like that.
amazing. Oh, so good. All right. We're supposed to be checking in on the bingo cards. I just pulled down my
Yeah.
one bingo card, the knitting one. I didn't pull down my other crafting cards because if I'm honest, totally forgot about them this year. Totally forgot about them.
I have neighbors that have cars that beep a lot. My goodness. I'm realizing that I labeled this knitting bingo even though I have all kinds of crafts on it. I might have
I
to shut this
separated my
window. Oh my
crafts.
god, why is their car beeping so much?
You're asking me. I live next door to a gas station.
I don't know. I
We
don't
can't
know.
hear anything. It's fine. Let it go.
I know, but I can hear it and it's very annoying.
Well,
Anyway,
yeah, but then you'll
sorry.
complain about being warm if you close the window.
I know, I can't win.
You're just gonna have to learn to deal with annoying
I'm
sounds.
sad. I'm
Okay.
sad.
Yes.
I'm
Yes, dear.
sad.
Sigh.
Nikki says the fact that my husband knows specifically what Stelina is. You've got him well trained. He pays attention to your hobbies. It's good. It's a good thing.
A mysterious Mr. B would look at me in confusion, then go, "That's the shiny thing," and I'd be like, "Yeah, that's the shiny thing."
I mean, that's the important part. Stelina's the shiny thing.
If anything, it works. All right. I don't know. It's
Bingo
bonus
cards.
content. We never have a plan. I
No.
volunteered you to go first because you left me in charge of the intro.
Oh dear. I've been volunteered to go first. Okay. Well, I have my card.
Uh,
I never did make it pretty. You know how you like. You know how
you
I always
lie
say.
every
I
year. Every
I
year you
do. I
lie.
really.
I'm gonna
The
make it
first year
pretty.
I
It
did
never
actually
happens.
make it pretty. I aspire to that first year.
Hmm.
But now it just seems like there's not really any point because it's already the end of October. Oh, I can't
I
see that at all.
aspire to 1 year to understand all of the squares I have chosen
That's an aspiration.
because we are now at the end of October, and I'm not entirely sure
What some
of
of them
some of my
mean.
choices.
Do you
Uh,
have any bingos yet?
again, guys, I haven't been keeping track. So, okay, honestly, maybe we're gonna have to fill in my card. Thank God, the marvelous
I've been at
moderator
least
is
keeping
in the
that up.
chat thread. Nope. Listen, I went and found my markers. Okay, but now I
I've at
have to
least
try
been
to
keeping
read
up.
my own card. I can't read my own card.
I
This is
have
fine.
one bingo, and I'm one square away from a second bingo.
I must have finished some things because I do finish stuff, but I don't know what. Or I'm so close that if I once my hand's up and running like 6 hours, then I'll have a bingo. Possibly two bingos.
I have a bingo on the diagonal. Yes. Starting
Do
in
I
this
get to
quarter.
count
Wow.
ripping State of the Whips? Like if I rip a State of the Whip out, does that also count as a square, or are we only counting it if I actually finish it?
I don't know.
This is a serious question, people.
It's your
I
bingo
have
card.
this
You can do what you want.
I have this one square here that says toy FO. I have totally finished a pair of socks since the last time we've done this. Have I not?
I feel like you have.
Or did I rip socks?
Maybe you ripped the socks because you were doing the pink ones.
And I decided to make them into mittens. Okay, okay. I need to finish stripy socks. I need to finish pair of socks.
Asa
Because if
says, I think you need to finish the State of the Whip.
Oh, thanks, Asa. She's so kind. But I
Um,
want bingos. Have I finished any State of the Whips this year? That's another very good question. Super
I
glad I
have
asked it.
For my bingo, I have a fingering FO, which I wrote down the Mr. Diana socks, which I don't have to show off. I have several pairs of socks on this bingo card,
Mm-hmm.
and they're all in the wash because we love them and wear them, and I don't
Mm-hmm.
have them to show off because they're in the wash.
Mm-hmm. That's fair. Um, if
I,
I, why?
if you,
Learn that I need to be more realistic with my thinking goals. My God.
I feel like we have this conversation every year.
Ow.
You have such grand plans in January or late December for next year,
Listen,
and then
like
come October, it's
Louise,
like, why?
like Louise, it is very easy to bend my rubber arm, and I think things take less time than they do.
Uh
And I
huh.
can logically understand they take more time than they do. Did I totally just let Louise literally on Tuesday talk me into doing a sweater in November for Christmas? Yes, yes, I did. No judgments needed here.
Also says, I have
Uh,
bingo on the diagonal. Yes, diagonal bingo team.
I'm gonna cross off this new design, square, because
I think that
I finished the midwinter collection. I'm
I owe
even
you a
I'm
review
even
on that
being
pattern that you sent me.
yes, yes you
I
do.
started to do it on my
Um
phone and it was too annoying, and then I was going to do it on my computer, but then my eyes hurt and I had to not look at the computer.
that is super fair. And I'm gonna claim the whole midwinter collection for that. That's why I hear her. She's on her tree. That answers that question.
I have
I have a
gift
beige
on
cat
here.
tree with a black tail hanging over the edge of the top, so I suspect that's where she is.
Talking Jocelyn and Diane into things is pretty easy. Yeah.
I'm just sitting there. It's like I'm gonna watch the news start Monday, and it was gonna be on Tuesday instead of Monday this week. I'm gonna watch on my phone. It's a little late on a Tuesday. I'm kind of tired. I did some stuff with my hand. My hand is healing fine. We're doing good.
Mm-hmm.
Figured I was starting to do some things, so I was like, okay, okay, this is the thing. I'm just gonna listen. Somehow I got talked into joining, so that November I'm making a sweater. Time to make a
Mm-hmm.
sweater in November, but I'm making one. Okay, cool. I did ask if whips were okay, so at least it's gonna be a whip I'm working from, which will help. Have I really finished so few whips this year? Like State of the Whip whips?
I don't know.
Dang, I am so slow. Okay, do I have to count the whole midwinter collection as a new design, or do I get to count each one as a new design? That's not fair. I should count the whole collection as a design.
You can count however you want.
I need. See, here's the thing. Like, look. I have so many squares with X's, and I'm so close to connecting them. This
Uh
is the
huh.
same thing that happened to me last year. Same thing that happened to me last year, people.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Also says, and making a sweater when your hand is so painful, it's gonna be like a giant bulky sweater, right?
No, weight's the problem. It's going to be a fingering weight sweater because it's weight that's my issue.
Ah. Well, unless you find like super lightweight bulky yarn.
I do have that creepily light, bulky yarn blown through a nylon tube.
Yeah, that's the one I was thinking of. And then
Yeah.
the needles are the heaviest thing in there.
Yes, in fact, they are. I wouldn't wear it for Christmas. I'd be too warm.
Fair.
So I don't know. I've got a couple of options that could technically be considered Christmassy sweaters. If you are not a wild pattern Christmas pullover sweater wearing human at Christmas, the idea being this is the thing that you wear at Christmas, right? So I'm like, while I would absolutely wear what people are calling ugly Christmas sweaters or super festive, like the Skandir Knits festive yoke sweater, I
Ah, yes, the traditional and very
absolutely,
tacky.
I super want one. Now I'm gonna have to scale it down to a finer weight yarn because I melted to death and worsted, but I super duper want one.
Mm-hmm.
I just also know that that's not for Christmas Day. It's for going out to Christmas shows and seasonal events where I can publicly embarrass everyone around me by wearing my incredibly tacky Christmas sweater happily, which brings me a perverse sense of joy. So, the Christmas Day sweater is a fingering weight sweater.
Right.
It's my Nordic Nights sweater. It's my Wood
It's
Rose
the
the
chilling at
second
home,
version.
maybe going to
It's
dinner sweater.
yeah, it's the chill at home go to dinner sweater. Like I might have to put on socks to go to my sister. Maybe. Like even that's not 100% sure. Like
Also
that's
says,
the
but
kind
those
of
are heavy
Christmas we have.
needles. And Nikki asks, frogging counts, right?
God, I want Froggy to count. Austin says no. Austin is mean.
Well, it depends on your wording of the square,
It says state of the whip.
which I think was intended to mean finish a state of the whip, but could also be interpreted as just get it
Move.
out of the pile.
Yeah. Like
I was
how
more
are we like
specific and I had finishes and frogs.
nope. Nope. Well, I have some finishes on here. Like I've got a sock FO. That's a finish. I literally just have FO, like finish something. I have a garment FO. I have several new designs. So, like, the moment I'm done the MCAL design, that's going on here. The moment I'm finished typing up the Cozy Vibes, which is the winter version of the Spooky Vibes set, the moment I'm done the charts and I've got it all typed up, that's a new design. Will have to finish knitting it, of course. But I didn't say FO, it says new design. So I'm absolutely, if I've done the bulk of the background work that nobody gets to see, which is all of the charts and all of the math and all of the typing and all of the stuff that just no fun.
Uh huh.
No fun. I'm counting it as a done because I know I'll finish knitting it.
Nikki says, state of the whip could mean you're just done with it. It's finished. You're finished. It's finished.
It's done. And
C'est
I think I want to
fini.
do, see, I want to do that. I want bingos this year, guys. That's what we're doing. Nikki's nice. Nikki says I can have a state of the whip. Diana and Oz are mean. They're meanies. Where's my
I
Sherry
am
to
merely
defend me?
pointing out what I believe was the intended meaning when you wrote it down. How it is
Listen,
interpreted now is entirely up to you. It's your bingo card.
I don't know where my brain's at in January. I don't even know where my brain's at in January. Yeah, I'm not going to count all of the State of the Whips as things I've ripped. I'm only allowed to do it twice.
Also says designs can go on the card when I can test knit.
Done. Which is when I've done all the boring background math and typing.
I am always mean, says Asa. The worst. Just the biggest meanie
Uh,
face.
that's okay. I was looking at this before we got on here, and I have toy FO because I like making toys.
Uh huh.
Because I like making toys. And my
I
brain
have a
went,
thing
do
I
you know
can
what I
add to
really
this.
want to make? Do you know what I really want to make? I don't have time for this. People, I do not have time. I have to finish Osa's advent calendar. I cannot knit right now. I have so much stuff on my plate piling up because I had to take 2 full weeks off. Do you remember Maid Sama? Did I ever make you watch that anime? Or did I just recommend it to you?
Yes. I have watched that
You
one.
must have because you get the stare
That's the
joke.
one where she like secret works at the maid cafe. Yes.
That's where, yeah, because that's where he comes in and he sees that she's at the main cafe and he does that whole awkward stare thing and they actually
Oh
say
yes, that's where stare comes from. Yes,
stare.
stare.
Ah, so good. Anyway, in a lot of their opening, like or their going to commercial, coming back from commercial, little things you used to get on TV.
Mm-hmm.
They have two amigurumi dolls of them sitting on a flag. I want to make the little dolls. I want to make the little dollies.
Also
Do I
says
know how to
being mean is her
crochet a
hobby
doll?
along with
No.
knitting.
Listen, we all have to have hobbies. Having more than one is healthy.
Sherry says it seems like a stretch, but I'm not the boss of you. Remember, you told me 2 individual socks didn't count as a pair.
It's true, but would you wear those individual socks and count them as a pair? Because I
Come on.
would.
Nikki can't
In
find the
fact,
pattern she was using,
I
so
do.
might have no choice but to frog a thing. Don't think it's
Oh
available
no.
anymore. That sucks.
Oh,
That's why
I
you gotta
hate when
save
that
copies.
happens. I mean, I'm always
I
saving stuff
have
all
an
over the place.
excessive Dropbox folder, so it's backed up on like 8 different devices in various states.
It's a lot of stuff. I have a lot of backup storage for my stuff too, because I don't want to lose my digital stuff. But my gosh, I am a digital hoarder. I need to start weeding some stuff.
Nah, just buy more storage, more hard drives.
I do not need all of my papers from university. I can let those go. I can let those
Well,
go.
yeah, okay. I learned, thinking of digital storage, so I was trying to install
I don't need
Palia
six
last
copies of
night.
every photo. What's Palia? I'm
It's
doing it.
the game that
I'm
I'm
marking.
thinking about, or that I
Oh, that
decided,
free MMO.
the free MMO that I was gonna do next month on my Twitch stream.
Yeah.
Instead of Paleo Pines. So I was trying to
Yep.
install it, and it got to 98%, and then it's like, I'm out of disk space. And I'm like, what do you mean you're out of disk space? I'm putting you on my D drive. There's like 300 gigabytes on there, like
Uh-huh.
free.
Sure.
It's because it's throwing a bunch of stuff in the app data folder on my C drive, which
Ah.
doesn't have a ton of space because it's
Okay.
my C drive and everything freaking puts itself on there even though I don't want it to.
If it
So
looks
it's
like
not
I'm not paying
behaving
attention,
nicely.
it's because this is an
No, I
argument Diana's
understand.
had with her computer before. Same way she ignores me when I go two factor and shake my fist. Okay.
Nikki says I have 8
Two.
finishes and like 5 almost finished. Oh, that's
Oh no, that's like so close.
so close.
Okay, so two of the state of the whips I put down are frogs. The other two have to be FOs. Compromise at its finest. Which
Sherry
means
confirms
if
it's dumb when things install in places I don't want them to.
it is dumb when it installs in places you don't want it to, and it's dumb
Stop
when
using
it's
my
like,
app data folder or make yourself a new one on the drive that I told you to install on.
oh,
Don't put data on the drive I told you not to put data on.
we're gonna update this program. Okay, if it needs to be updated, it needs to be updated. This is important, but we're not gonna update it. We're gonna leave the original older copy on there. We're just gonna upload a new copy. You sons of.
Uh-huh. And like uninstalling it won't get rid of it either. You'll have to like go in with
No,
some kind of utility.
no. And like super hard. I'm like, I hate just don't even get me started. Don't even get me started. Okay.
To the end, the free utility WinDir very useful.
They are? Okay.
Yeah. Win is in Windows, dir is in directory, and stat as in statistic. Very
Okay.
useful.
Okay. So if I magically finish a knit along, and I didn't
Uh-huh.
say on time, it just says knit along FO. Oh, I didn't say on time. I'm a genius.
You did not say on time.
I did not say on time. And I manage two FOs and a new design. Also, you're not going to like it. It's going to be color work. I will have two bingos. If I somehow manage two FOs, a state of the whip FO, a knit along FO, that's four FOs if we're all keeping track, and two new designs. It's three bingos.
That's a lot.
That's a
I am if
lot.
I do 2 more squares, I have 2 more bingos.
But that would just leave me with seven empty squares, which is not bad for a year, especially given that I have not been paying attention to this at all.
Sherry says knit along, not knit after the fact.
Doesn't say that anywhere on my square. Right here on my square, right down at the bottom. All it says is KALFO. Just a knit along FO. Never said no time. No time was specified here. No time. No time. I really need to not do that with my hand. I still don't want to do that yet. But I can hold a piece of paper in my hand and it doesn't hurt. I can almost hold my phone too if I'm very, 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 very careful, and I only do it for a very short period of time. But that's okay. The important thing is my fingers are no longer bending in the wrong direction, and I don't need to tape them during the day, so that the pain's minimized. I just need to tape them and brace at night so I don't accidentally aggravate anything while I am unconscious and sleeping.
Mm. Oh, Asa
But I do
asks, did you
too.
finish the podiversary?
I don't remember.
What was it this year?
Might
Mine was
technically, if I
that
finish
vest that I didn't finish.
the mushroom bucket bags, and I need to get them done the moment I can finish, I can sew that corner. That door. It's too awkward. I don't have enough dexterity and strength in my fingers yet to do the door sewing.
Mm.
If I get the mushroom bucket bags done, actually, if I literally tie the drawstring part of the mushroom bag together. I have finished it in a long time because that's my fall equinox.
I should stop knitting this because I want to try something different. Don't try to do design work while you're also trying to podcast. It's a bad idea.
What? Even I would have told you that's kind of silly.
Yeah, it's very silly.
But
Don't do it.
I can't remember, like, did I count my purse? Like, when's the last time we did this?
Do not know.
My word.
Oh,
I need to
Melanie's in
start.
chat. Home from work. Had to stop at the bank. Just sitting down with coffee. FYI, peppermint mocha creamer is now out. Woohoo.
I'm
Peppermint
excited.
mocha creamer. Okay.
I
Okay.
have to make mine from scratch at home because of allergies, but I'm excited that it's peppermint mocha season. Do you know what I need to
I
do
gotta go
next year?
harvest my herbs is what I gotta
I need
do.
to write down on the back of my bingo card in my markers what I've crossed off on the front of my bingo card in markers. Okay, cool. Okay, cool.
Oh, Sherry says, wasn't it the helmet hat that you frogged?
Yes,
frog
it was
the
the helmet hat. I frogged that one. Yes.
And
It
also
wasn't
says, if
turning
I
out the
wore
way I wanted it to.
mittens, that is any size, right?
Yes, obviously. When did this become the pick on Jocelyn show? Dang it.
Mm-hmm. Oh, it's because I haven't started going through my card yet. You told me to go first, and then you just kept going anyway. So I'll let you go. Carry
programmed
on.
to go first. I'm programmed to go first, people.
Oh,
That
Melanie
throws
says it's
everything
the
out
end
of
of October. It's 18 freaking degrees out. I know, right? It's weird.
end of
Like I
October.
got everything all ready for winter, so the house would be all cozy, and then it goes up and hanging around like 18, 20 degrees. I'm like, it's too warm in here now, even with the windows open.
We're doing that first snowfall of the season that traditionally doesn't stick around, so everybody's freaking because winter's too early and it's too cold and it's only the end of October. And
No,
why do we have snow? And I'm like, what in the
I
world's wrong
remember
with you
snow on
people?
Halloween quite often. It's a totally normal time to have snow.
The fact that we don't generally have snow on the ground anymore for October is just proof of climate change. Because these are the same people who are going to be freaking out when we creep closer and closer to Christmas. And more often than not, we don't have snow on the ground until just before Christmas.
Just so weird to me.
Which people start freaking out about in November. And I'm like, chill your horses. It will get here. And if it gets here after Christmas, I guess then you better start figuring out how to consume less stuff to help with it. Convince people to make climate change activities a thing. People. People.
Melanie says, I had to design Halloween costumes over my snowsuit as a kid. Yeah, I remember that. My princess dress when I was 8 years old had to fit over my snowsuit.
Yeah. And it's not common anymore. Like, I think Izzy did it twice when she trick-or-treated. She had to have a snowsuit on. The rest of the time, she was fine with a sweater.
Yeah, I did like a medium coat when I went trick-or-treating with the kids before we moved.
Yeah. Like, it's gotten warmer over the decades. Crazy pants. I, however, am excited. It's only 2 degrees above it. It kind of, sort of, maybe snowed. It fell out of the sky, but it didn't stay here. It stayed in other parts of the province, so
maybe Miranda says, hi, sorry, late. We're happy you're here. Late is just fine.
That's the important part. I've talked about my bingo card. It's time to pick on Diana. I'm going to pull my other two. I'm gonna pull the other 2 cards down and take a look at them because I made more than 1 card.
All right, I've actually been keeping up with my cards, so there's no question about what is and isn't crossed off.
I don't. I am my own worst nightmare about these things. I'm like, it's like, all right. It's my version of Louise's whiteboard is what this is.
On my diagonal, my bingo, I have fingering FO, so I finished Mr. Diana's socks. I had a gift, which was the Pokemon egg for nephew. Free space, because we love a free space. I have organized stash, which I live streamed even. And I have finish a whip, which was the Diana socks way back in January, February, whatever. I have none of those finished objects to show off because the socks are in the wash and the gift, got gifted. But if you want to watch the organized stash video, that's back in the archives on YouTube somewhere. What else do I have? I have for almost another bingo on my top row. I have that's also fingering FO, but I also have worsted FO, which my June sun hat.
Oh,
Yeah.
that floppy disaster.
Yeah, that floppy disaster. Did I organize all the stash?
Nope.
I mean, the stuff in my closet
Nope.
is organized. I just
Nope.
don't know what it is.
Nope.
No, the stash is organized, but it's like the notions and the patterns and stuff, and there's a couple of sweater quantities in there, which are organized. The yarn in the closet is organized.
Okay.
It's the notions and other stuff that's in there that I don't know what it is. The yarn is organized. I don't have a lace FO yet, which was going to be that anemone sweater that I bought yarn for. Yada yada yada. Yes, yada yada. I'm counting that
That
as
is
finished.
just such a sad looking bucket hat.
I know. I'm gonna wear it though.
I should make fun of you because you worked hard on it. My brain just goes, "Oh, it's a bucket hat," but I know
I
it's
know.
not supposed to be a
It's a
bucket
sad
hat.
little
So...
hat. It's a sad little hat. It's
Oh,
fine.
sad.
Not everything is a winner. It's fine.
No, no, it's still cute.
But it's still a finished object, so
it's still cute.
it's fine. I had a sport/DK finished object, which is the Cobra sweater, which was a gift for niece, so I also don't have that. And then I also have a bulky finished object, which is my hexagon cardigan, which I do have, which is this one, which I maybe want to go back and do something different on the neck, but it is a finished object.
You weren't super happy with the neck.
I'm not super happy with the neck. I feel like it needs a collar or something, but I was going to wait till now-ish. Well, I guess I was intending for it to be colder now-ish, so I guess when it gets colder and I'm wearing it more, I can figure out... Bang, bang, bang. Hang on. I don't know if Chris is in a meeting.
Uh-oh.
One moment.
Pull down my other cards. I pulled out my other cards. We have top 9 sewing challenge and top 9 crochet challenge. Or craft challenge. So I did 2 top 9s for the other stuff. And I'm looking at it.
Thing. What's my thing?
We're live on the internet. You're receiving presents. That's not fair. Where's my present?
I've received skincare.
Oh, good.
My skincare arrived.
That's good.
I was hoping it was going to be fun yarn. That was going to be great, but
why do you have fun yarn on order?
I have fun yarn on the way. I got the notification that's been put in the mail. So I'm expecting it this week, but
oh, good.
That shows up as mail, not pure later.
That's fair.
I don't remember what I was saying. Hexagon cardigan, yes. I'll figure out what I want to do with the neck on that. But it is finished. What else? Oh. So that's one almost another one if I did a lace FO, but the anemone sweater is not happening this year. It's simply not. So that's not happening.
Dad, I so seriously want you to cast on that yarn for it.
But I have this vertical that's almost an FO. So that's the Cobra sweater toy. I made you a Dunamo way back at the beginning of the year.
Phaedra loves it.
I have Modify Finish, which is that the bandeau that I made over the summer that somehow came out too big even though I measured and swatched and everything.
Yeah.
So I modified it to be smaller.
Okay.
Organized stash again, and then the one that I still haven't done is try tatting, because I got the stuff for it.
Yeah.
And then it broke.
Right, and you haven't replaced the tatting needle yet.
Well, I glued it back together, so I have to see if I can actually, if the glue will hold. But that, waiting a couple days for the glue to dry really put a damper on that enthusiasm. Meh.
Okay.
So that's almost... So I almost have 2 more, but if I just try tatting, like if I make some little like trial project, I can have another bingo.
Okay.
I think about the hat Sherry was saying, put a drawstring through it to be a dice bag. I mean...
That's not where my brain went. My brain went, go find a pot that you can sit in it and then drawstring it closed so you get this nice little loopy pot holder.
Or it can just be this weird little hat. I don't know. I kind of want to see if I can make it fashion, like if I do weird enough makeup, and then if B helps me do like a fashion photo shoot or something, because that's her hobby. She's got like a whole studio in her house, and we can make it like fashion.
Nope, but all right.
Maybe we can make it fashion.
If
I do it with enough attitude, it's fashion.
You two have fun with that project. I promise to like and giggle at you privately.
Melanie says, I dug out my bingo card. I have 2 of them. Oh, 2 bingos. 2 bingos, not squares. 2 bingos. Nice.
Rudy's doing very well this year. That's exciting.
Oh, Asa says, sew on some horns and use it for dino gaming.
I mean, you're not wrong.
I mean, also, yeah.
Also an option.
Also an option. I could just add some spikes like I did for the baby hat.
Yep.
I actually quite like that idea.
I like that idea better than the fashion photography session.
I mean, then I can still use it for the fashion photography session.
Oh, God. So your big goal to the end of the year is just to you're not gonna stretch and try to see how many bingos you can get. You're just gonna.
Well, I mean, there's a limit to what I can realistically accomplish in the next 2 months.
Yes.
So I will prioritize the squares that will give me bingos, and I will just give up on the squares that are absolutely not happening. Like a lace FO is not happening. I don't have anything lace on the needles right now, and I'm not doing a whole freaking sweater.
Yeah, that's
in
fair.
addition to all the other stuff that I have on the schedule. There's a little fuzz like right here, and it's dangling, and I can see it, and I'm just gonna rotate this hat. There we go. Problem solved. So like, I'm gonna give up on that one, and like, I have sweater for sibling on here. Also not happening this year. Sweater for Mr. Diana, however, that's gonna happen.
That should have happened. Isn't that your challenge this month?
That was my challenge last month, and I got to the part where I was attaching the arms. No, I got like 3/4 of the way through, and then realized that the arms are too short, and I think the body's too narrow.
Yeah.
So I need to add a few more rows to the arms, and I need to pull back the entire body and make it like 2 inches wider.
It's a bulky weight sweater, so it's not like that's...
It will go fast. Yeah, I literally just need to... Yeah. It's been sitting on my floor judging me for weeks. I just need to pull it out and do it.
Okay. I cleaned my floor. That's how bored I am. Not this top part here yet. That's tomorrow's job, I suspect. All right. So I went with 2 top 9 bonus cards. So you know how you get like that top 9 knitting challenge where you can pick like the top 9 projects you want to do?
Yeah.
But the moment I do that, I won't work on either of the projects. I did one for sewing and I did one for craft, which is delightful. Because on here, I put spinning project. Technically, I finished a spinning project.
Nice.
So I get to cross that off. And these were bonus cards.
Was that the sweater Mr. Diana was ripping? No. Mr. Diana gets to rip out my garter marler that is pink and I won't wear. So if I'm going to make a pink one, I better make it in a size that somebody who wears pink will wear. No, that's the Steinkrieger that I was making for Mr. Diana.
I haven't done anything.
We have a thing. Is this a donation-y thing? Chat revenue. Hey, Sherry gave us revenue.
Watch as we figure out how to be professional YouTubers.
I have no idea how this works, but thank you so much.
Diana's in charge of that.
What does this do? I have new buttons to press now.
New
this is exciting.
Buttons. I love new buttons. I haven't done any of the other ones. Like I didn't write them as FOs, but I have the embroidery patterns that I want to use in the obvious mending on my quilt, which comes off my bed shortly. I need new crafts, apparently, because I have new craft on here twice. So it looks like I might be doing rag rugs and stuff sooner than I
Nice.
expected. Because they're on my thingy and I'd like to try it before the end of the year. I have several spinning projects, which is good because I'm spinning right now. I have cross stitch because I live and dream of the concept that I'm going to actually start making Halloween cross stitches because I adore them greatly.
You just got to
They're
start
my
like
kind of humor,
now for next year. Just do them all
pretty
year.
much. Well, it's I know what I need to do to make it accessible, and then my arms start to hurt just thinking about it
Uh,
because I need to have the piece backlit, and I don't have like a table thingy where the backlight's underneath. So I have to hold it up to the window, which makes my arms hurt because I know how hard it is to pull my hair up on the top of my head and do fancy braids, and it's the same freaking pose. So I'm like,
hmm.
I wanna, but I literally haven't saved up to go buy a light box to go underneath on my coffee table so I can just hold it out in front of me down low where it'll be easier to work on.
Mm.
Not to
Well,
mention I
Miranda
gotta do
has
it
a
through
good
my
question.
bifocals.
How?
So I have to hold it up and look through my bifocals and cross stitch at the same time.
Oh, that's not ergonomic in the slightest.
No, it's
Great arm
not.
workout though.
That's about all it's good for.
Miranda wants to know, how do you do a bingo card? Never done one.
Oh, okay.
You make it
Super.
up,
We will
is the short answer.
I will run
No,
you
we'll go
through
in
the
more depth.
basics here in a hot second, but here we won't leave you hanging. So I got some of that. What I'm more excited about is the sewing top 9 I gave myself because I was just looking at this and I have an empty mending bin.
Hmm.
I emptied my mending bin in June and finished off the last of my mending projects for clothes. So I'm gonna cross that square off. And I have cut out both of the summer dresses and they're pinned together, and I've actually started sewing them. I have
Nice.
not cut out the pirate shirts yet. I do have all 3 of the new skirts cut out and pinned, and some of them are even 3/4 sewn at this point.
Ooh.
Uh-huh. But I don't have and haven't even started is a matching skirt and vest, like walking skirt and vest, like full on Victorian Edwardian combo here.
Yeah.
I don't have the what do I got going on here? I wanted some new basic shirts. I haven't done any of those, but I also haven't been to the fabric store to buy the right fabric that I want for the shirts, so I'm not giving myself any grief about that. I have not found the right material for the Hobbit dress I want to make because
Hmm.
I want to live my best Hobbit life. I don't care that I'm as tall as an elf. I want a Hobbit dress, so I want to make one. I have the
You do
pattern I want to
you.
do. I just haven't found the fabric, so that's fine. And I have walking skirts, 2 walking skirts. In which case, I have the fabric for the walking skirts. I don't have the pattern I want. And literally, I could have a new finished winter coat if I frickin' sewed in the zipper and put on the flippin' fur trim. Just things get 3/4 finished and I get distracted. What probably it was is I thought about sewing in the zipper in that sweater in the double layered walking coat for the Northwest Territories that my mom made in the early 90s that I have the pattern for, that I'm making a version for myself for, and went, no, I do not want to work on this over the summer because it's the whole 3/4 length coat in my lap while I put the fur band on.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Negative
Miranda
captain.
says you can be an elf raised by hobbits.
Just a very tall hobbit, that's all, okay? Don't make
Also
fun of
says
my
you need to finish the
disability.
coat so you can wear it with the new shoes.
I'll be wearing the new shoes way before it's cold enough for me to wear the new coat. Guys, it's a double layer fleece coat. So it is a fleece coat with a fleece coat and outer shell combo. It is the you pull it into the year when it's -40 for 2 weeks a year max coat
Mm.
with a real fur
So
hood, real
you
fur
just wear it
lining
open
hood.
for the rest of the winter.
Wear one layer of it for the rest of the winter. And it took some time because it came to me from the 90s, so it's boxed, which is great. It's a boxy coat, which is awesome. But
Mm-hmm.
I semi-fitted the inside layer to fit me because if I get cold air up my back,
Yeah. Miserable.
oh God, just I love winter, and even I don't enjoy that.
Nobody
Just
enjoys that. That's cold.
nobody
It's just
enjoys that.
cold.
It's cold. It's cold and yucky. So I did that and I did it in a purple layer. And then the outside layer is black and not as fitted so that the purple layer fits underneath. So I had to make both layers of coats and then I had to silk line both layers of coats. So that's two linings, two zippers, four sets of sleeves, eight front panels, four back panels,
It's a lot of
and
sewing.
two hoods and a partridge in a pear tree. And I haven't put the fur trim on yet because I have coyote fur to go around the trim on the outside coat because real
Ooh.
fur blocks wind better. It's just
Yes.
how that works. So, and I got it sourced ethically, so why don't come at me?
Shall
Came
we
from a
talk
from a
about how to
dude.
make a bingo card?
Let's talk about how to make a bingo card. The bingo card challenge idea is that you literally create a blank bingo card. Everybody knows a bingo card. It's that wonderful 5x5 grid. Is it 5x5?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna say
I
that
mean,
with
it can
confidence.
be whatever you want, I guess, but traditionally 5 by 5.
5x5. You put free space in that middle square, and then you take all the other 24 squares and you fill them in with your volume of crafting goals for the year. So we usually do the last wrap up at the end of the year. There's a whole bunch of bonus contents at the end of the year for us. And we present, in theory, our completed challenges or our completed bingo cards for next year. I always say in theory because Diana has a list and I
I've already started
usually
the list. I'm doing well. I have a
I,
list of things already for next year on the back of
I
this
at
year's.
least have blank squares. They're not always filled, but at least I have the blank squares prepped ready to go. So you get to pick if you want to try a new technique or you want to aim to get some whips off your plate, or if you want to do things like you want to learn how to design, or you want to try mosaic, or you're like, you know what, I'm just gonna put socks because this year I'm gonna make socks. Maybe you want to be a gift knitter this year, so you put a bunch of gift knit squares in to just sort of challenge yourself to do that. The idea being that when you get a bingo, you get to reward yourself. Now, the reward is personal. You can choose whatever it is you want to reward yourself with.
My reward is the
Because it's
serotonin of checking things off a list. Dopamine?
sure
Serotonin. One of those ones.
dopamine. Dopamine. It's a dopamine
Yes.
hit, dear.
Check.
Serotonin is sleeping.
Okay. Serotonin is the chill out one, dopamine is the
Yeah.
happy one.
Yeah, dopamine's your happy one.
Okay. I deeply enjoy checking things off of lists. I find it deeply satisfying. More than the average person, I think.
I like to treat myself to a cup of coffee, to a cup of fancy coffee. Because for me, it is a treat. I can't, as a general rule of thumb, afford fancy coffees ever unless Diana's in town and buying them. So they never happen, which is an apology and not entirely true. I will occasionally buy the fanciest coffee that I can afford, which is from McDonald's. Because I can afford McDonald's coffee. Sometimes I can treat myself to a McDonald's coffee once a month. Sometimes.
Miranda says, so you try to blank out the card.
Yeah.
Basically, yeah,
Yeah.
we're attempting to fill the entire card, going for a full card bingo, but any row, column, or diagonal counts
Yeah.
as well. And it's really just for fun, motivation, to remember your plans for the year.
They can be as specific or as vague as you want. Diana and I have learned over the years to go vague.
Yes, it's a lot easier. Yeah, a couple of tips from doing this a few times. Go vague rather than
Mm-hmm.
specific
Mm-hmm.
because your tastes change.
The moment
And
I set a deadline for things that it isn't like I'm not challenged with somebody else, I don't do them. I don't do them. I avoid
with
them
the
like the
deadline that's not a
plague.
competition,
Yeah, but if it's a deadline with a competition, 50% of the. So I know that about myself. I go
I've also
vague.
I've also learned try to distribute things relatively evenly. So like you can like stack things so that it's like this is an easy row. I should be able to get this row. Versus, if you put all the like giant project FOs in one row, you're not going to get that row. So like distribute things so that there's like I'm definitely going to get these squares and I might not get these squares, but like try to lay things, give some thought to the layouts so you don't accidentally lump all your hard things in one corner and then you can't get any bingos.
I just make sure I don't have two sock FOs in any one row or column.
Don't put difficult things in the corners. Put easy things in the corners because that
Easy
helps
things
you
in the
with three
corners.
different bingos.
Goes. That's fair. I try to balance it out so I don't have like if I say garment FO three times, I try not to have them stack up or line up because a garment's a big project. But if I'm just
Yeah.
saying FO or a new technique or something, I'll absolutely stack those because they don't have to be large projects. If I've shot myself in the foot and made them large projects, that's my own fault. My own fault. But they don't have to be. So and everyone's always got suggestions and there's always talk back and forth about what we could do and what we're feeling this year for a vibe. Like I want to be the kind of person that finishes a pair of socks a month. People could tell you I've been trying this for years. I have not accomplished a pair of socks every month. Ever.
No. Have you accomplished a pair of socks at
Ever.
all this year?
One. One
Okay,
pair.
we did get an answer on that. One pair of
No,
socks.
one pair of socks. I love wearing hand knit socks. I love wearing Erin's hand knit socks from her yard. I love wearing the hand knit socks that Asa sent me because I said I have feet and Asa sent me socks. And I adore my hand knit socks. I love wearing my hand knit socks. I am so ecstatic to have hand knit socks. I want more hand knit socks because I do not have a drawer of hand knit socks. So therefore, I do not have enough hand knit socks.
The world can always use more hand knit socks.
So, like, I know I need more hand knit socks. I need more ankle socks. And then I need to make some knee high socks. Let's be honest. I live in a place that gets to -40, and I want to go full time skirt wearing. The knee high sock, a hand knit knee high sock, is going to be a handy thing for me to have at -40, petticoats or not.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I'm going to want
Stockings.
that wool. I'm going to want those stockings. I want to make
Also
them.
says hand knit for Advent then.
Yes, also, but you already did Advent for me. It's sitting in a box here, and I'm not supposed to know what's in it till December. And I'm very good at pretending I don't know pieces of information. It's a skill I have learned over the years. So
Also
it's
says I have a big drawer of socks for me and then I have a bucket of it for charity. That's
yeah,
prolific sock knitting.
just Asa
Goals.
is a serious sock knitter. But yeah, I'm
Goals.
always so stoked to get socks. Socks. I love socks.
Oh man, I
And
love
I'm
my
not good
socks.
at knitting. And I'm not good at knitting them. But I have a pair of socks from you, and I have worn them out. I have worn them so much. And the only reason they don't come to you to get mended is because I know how long it takes you to mend anything. I'm almost sure I might mend them faster.
Don't look at this pile.
Yeah, that's what I thought. So keeping that in mind. I also have been making a very large push to a handmade house. So a lot of my bingo card tends to represent that I'm making my own garments now. I don't buy clothes anymore. I make them. And my caveats for things that I will not make but I will purchase are underthings of the 21st century variety because I just don't want to be bothered to learn those things. I certainly could, and I should try at some point, just as like an experimental Tuesday. I should try sewing my own underwear just because that I could say I did it.
Hmm.
Because that'd be one heck of an experiment.
That'd be fun,
Like,
yeah.
could I make my own bra? I don't know. I technically have the know how for it. And I've done all of the bits and pieces. I've boned, I've made channels, I've worked with eyelets, I've worked with lace, I've worked with straps and things like I've worked with all the components of one,
Yeah.
just not in that. So like, could make good experimental Tuesday for Patreon members. Could be fun, guys. Let me know. That's something you think would be amusing for to watch me try to struggle through. And don't worry, I will make Diana take me to the fabric store to help me find the fabric for these. If this is something I end up doing, she will be involved in this process
Mm-hmm.
for fun. Like, and anything with spandex in it. I love a good knit. I love a good jersey knit. They make beautiful, comfortable summer dresses. They're absolute garbage if you want anything with pockets because they have no structure to them.
Mm-hmm.
But they stretch like a mofo and they are delightful to wear. And I want more jersey knit summer dresses. I have a jersey knit summer dress that I have worn since my early 20s. It is a baby doll and it is short because in my early 20s, I didn't care if it was so short that it was really should only be worn at bars. Didn't care. I'm 40. I kind of care now. I really don't want to be bothered to have to worry about where the hem of my skirt is.
Mm-hmm.
I still have that jersey knit baby doll dress. I want to take it apart because I've literally had it for 20 years. She doesn't owe me anything. She's wearing out. She's been, you guys see her all the time. She's the blue top I wear, the blue square top
Yeah.
with the bell sleeves. It's a very short, barely covers my keister baby doll dress. I want to make a maxi version. I want a
Okay.
floor length hippie version. I just simply haven't gone to the fabric store and found the right jersey knit. Like I haven't found the right cotton jersey fabric to use, right? But I do have two summer dresses. I've got a nice straight one like my polka dot dress, which is like T length, and it's
Mm-hmm.
blue with my polka dots. You guys see it sometimes. You see the top part, the blue with my polka dots. I have a blue version that I just pinned the sides together for, and I have a stretchy summer dress version when they again it is floor length that I'm going to look like a 70s Chesterfield while wearing it because it is a dark brown with cream paisley print on it. And I'm talking aggressively loud paisley print. And I can't wait to wear them. So, like, keeping in mind that I will do, if we're talking spandex tights, if we're talking yoga pants, if we're talking that fitted spandex look, I'm buying those. I'm buying those. I am not sewing leggings. I'm not sewing leggings. I understand that I can. Pants are stupid easy to sew. Absolutely not a problem.
But stretchy material?
No, no. Just no. I'm just no. I want to save up and go buy the $90 leggings from Leonard Taylor because those are come in my length.
Yes.
I just want to go in and buy like 3 or 4 pairs and be done with it for a while. That's what I Otherwise, I've committed. I'm making the rest of my clothes by hand. So my shirts,
Yeah.
my sweaters. I don't really need new winter coats because I have three at the moment. I will have three when I'm done the last one. Uh, my cardigans, my t-shirts. I have been wandering away from pants for years. I grew out of blue jeans in my early 20s. Because when I entered the workforce, you had to wear dress pants, so I learned how to buy comfortable dress pants, and I didn't think about it. Post-abdominal surgery, zippers in my belly don't get along. Something about a big old scar running up the middle of me is doesn't like zipper teeth.
Makes sense. Yeah.
Shocking, shocking. So I want to go to. I have no idea what in heaven's name is going on outside my window. I don't care. So I've been going more and more towards skirts and dresses. So I want to keep moving towards skirts and dresses. I just want them to be handmade so that they fit me properly. They're the right length. They fit correctly. They have pockets if I want them to have pockets. They don't
Makes
if I
sense.
don't. And we move on.
Sherry said, I accidentally touched the thumbs down. Ignore that notification.
Sherry doesn't
Sherry's
like
thumbs
me
downing
anymore.
us. Hmm.
I'm not even in her dreams anymore. I'm not even that crazy mean person in the dream that laughs at her in the bathroom. I've been downgraded. I'm not even in there.
Sherry's dreams are downright cinematic.
Oh, just the best stories. She's like, suddenly I have a dream story, and I'm just like, oh, I need popcorn. I don't even eat popcorn. I need something. Always a good tale. So much fun. So I'm excited. I didn't do as bad as I thought I was going to do with those top nines, so I might keep those for next year because they're stretch goals, right? I did pretty
Mm-hmm.
good on the sewing front this year. I will have a bunch of that stuff done before the end of the year.
There's a non-zero chance if I have a very if I have a weekend where I try a bunch of stuff,
Mm-hmm.
because tatting is probably an afternoon and dyeing is probably a whole weekend, and I want to
Yeah,
get the sweater for Mr. Diana done.
yeah,
I could have a bottom row bingo as well.
you could. I feel like you should buy a backup tatting needle.
Yeah, probably, because I don't know.
Just,
I put it away at some point, and I don't
and
quite
it's not
remember
like
where
you
that is.
spent. It's not like you spent a lot
No, it
on
was like a
that.
dollar fifty. I'm not.
So like, you should just get a backup tatting needle. I mean, try the one that you glue just for just
See
cause
if it works. Yeah.
for science. But have a backup one so like if it breaks or doesn't work, you don't have to wait till the next time you decide to go to a store, which could take months. You just have it
Mm-hmm.
there, and you can switch while you're still excited about trying tatting. I want to try macrame.
I have macrame on here. If I
I
try
want to try macrame.
macrame and manage a Christmas gift before December, then I
Okay.
have. Oh, never mind. I don't because sweater for siblings in that row. Never mind. I have design a pattern and I have so many scribbles on it of things that are like I'm working on it, but I haven't actually typed it up, so it doesn't count yet.
The typing up part's hard. You've seen how much I struggle with it, and I
Yeah,
release
I've
things.
got 4 things on there of
Oh,
things
you
that
guys!
I'm working on. Haven't typed
Diana's
up.
reading. Diana's doing the. She hasn't looked at this read through the pattern before I release the cowl. So the moment she says yes, I'm good to go.
Oh, yes.
I can release the last in the midwinter set. So there will actually be a set collection that you can scrap a bust, or you can just use full skeins. And I think I whipped out the mitts, hat, and cowl while podcasting in 3 weeks. So like
Yeah, those were really
people who
fast.
aren't podcasting, like they're fast knits. They're fast knits. If you're not designing them, you're just doing them. Like I think I could do like both. I would have had both fingerless mittens done in less than a week if I hadn't injured my hand. So like they're quick knits at a DK weight yarn. So those are out. I need people to go test out the coupon in the store because nobody's actually done it yet. So while it looks like it works, I don't actually know if it works.
Also says,
The
and the
pest
midwinter
cart
collection is
works.
perfect for gifting.
It is. Well, if you think about it, if you could do a hat one weekend, mittens the next weekend, cowl the third weekend, there's less than 90 days till Christmas. None of this 2 months thing, 'cause this seems to blow people's perspective out the window.
Yeah, we are now
We will
less than
have
2 months.
less than 2 months. We have less than 90 days. And we're almost less than 60 days shortly till Christmas. But like, if you've got 6 days and you're doing this around your regular weekend stuff and you can get like a whole set out, that's a Christmas present for someone. That's a nice Christmas present for someone.
Mm-hmm. Or
Let's
if
be
you just want
honest.
to sit down and whip out a bunch of hats and stuff.
I may have done the worsted weight versions in acrylic for my mom. That's why you guys don't see photos. Because they're Christmas presents.
Oh,
And I
Haas
know my
posted the
mom
link to your
watches.
things. Thank you.
Oh, thank you. Thank you also. I know my mom watches. So no, you don't get to cheat. I know the colors first. You're gonna have to wait till Christmas to find out, lady. I can just hear the phone call now. What do you mean I gotta wait?
What else? I
Cause
feel like.
reasons.
Oh yeah, I finished
What do you do?
scrappy things. I had a scrap square on here that I finished.
Yeah.
Some scrappy stripy striping socks finally got done.
Scrappy striping socks.
Sherry
Dude,
says
you
your
need to
math isn't
write that.
mathing. 90
My
days is more
math.
than 2 months.
It's less than 90 days.
Yes. And also says send me a photo. I want to know.
Okay, Asa, I will send you a photo.
Did socks for dad? What else? I talked about those ones. I think I've talked about all the things that I finished. Oh, and I frogged a whip way back in January. I did that. That was like one of the first things I did.
You frogged a couple of other ones the last time we did a Sue the
I've
Whip
frogged
update.
lots of things this year, actually, but
Good.
yeah.
Good. Good. You don't need that weight anymore. I have your mohair medley sitting here to work on when I get a hot second. And then somebody decided and twisted my very rubbery arm into making an MCAL, and there went all of my free time.
Yeah.
Uh-huh. I'm about to get annoying with that project, by the way.
Oh, yes, yeah. Oh, that's what I'm
We're
working on
down to
today when I'm
deadlines.
not online with you.
We're down to deadlines, so I'm about to get annoying. Yay, annoying. But that's
So I'm
it. I
doing
think
I'm
we're
doing
good.
pretty well. I think I can get a few more bingos out of this.
If I push, I can get two more bingos. And I think I'm going
Oh,
to.
it's not happening. If I try Tunisian and do a repair, that's another one.
Hmm.
If I just try tatting, that's another one.
I
If
want to get a good
I
pair. I want to get a good set of Tunisian crochet hooks because I love the look of Tunisian crochet, but they're a specialty hook.
well, it's just a long crochet hook basically. Tunisian?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, it's a crochet hook with a cord because it's the closest you get to knitting while crocheting.
It doesn't necessarily have to have a cord. I have old ones, like probably 1980s kind of ones that's just very long. Like the old knitting needles were just very long.
Okay, let me know how that goes.
We'll find out.
I'm gonna find the ones with the cord and the tag on the end of it so I don't have to worry about it.
I frogged lace shawls. Yes, I frogged a lot of things this year. Oh, and also wants the
Which is
photos
good.
so that she can tease your mom.
Oh, you can tease mommy. Are you sure? That's risky. My mom would get
Well,
on an
Asa's on another
airplane to come yell
continent,
at
so
you.
it seems fairly safe.
I don't know.
And if I'm a good girl and make a colorwork pair of mittens, I will have two more bingos. Nice. And also, my needles don't have a cord, and I made a garment on those, the Tunisian ones. So,
I don't have dastardly long crochet hooks.
if your mom comes to bug Asa, she needs to bring her daughter.
Well, yeah. Who else is gonna sit in an Irish pub and drink a beer with her non-beer drinking mother? That would be me. I'm not really a drinker. I will happily sit in an Irish pub and drink a beer for my mom. She wants to go to an Irish pub and have a beer, but she doesn't drink beer. I'll do
So
that.
she
My
wants to
mom's
vicariously drink a beer.
Yeah, well, my mom's part Irish. She's it's my Métis heritage comes from my mom, and part of her I don't know what it is colonizing heritage half is Irish. I never know what word to use anymore. My
I don't know.
grandpa was pale, my grandma was not. And there's Irish and Indigenous First Nations in that mix somewhere. That's how that works. I am Métis.
Asa
That's
agrees
what
she
I
can do
understand.
beers. Oh, there's interchangeable hooks. That makes sense.
Yeah. But I really want to do. Mind you, I also seriously want to get my blankets off of my thing because what I want to do next year is save up and buy for that stained glass window blanket. Yeah, yeah. I have a crochet pattern to make a circular stained glass window blanket.
Oh, do I? I
For
might
bed.
have. I might also have that. I think I have that book.
Yeah, and I feel
Maybe.
like next year that needs to be the thing I save up for. Like that's my big project to work on next year is to get the blankets I have off my hooks and needles and save up so that like next December that's my Christmas cast on for myself is I get to start that blanket. It's been on my dream to crochet list since we bought the magazine.
Yeah.
So like
Right.
for years because we haven't reviewed physical print books in a coon's age. In a
Also
coon's
says if I find my hooks, I will put in the advent box.
Sweet. That would be wonderful because I would really like to try that. That would be really good.
Do you want to hear what
Anyways.
ideas I have for my card next year?
Sure.
Okay.
What are we contemplating?
I'm contemplating rather. I'm going to start a blanket because I'm not even going to tell myself to finish a
Ooh.
blanket. I'm just going to start a
That would
blanket.
be crazy. It takes me upwards of 2 or 3 years to finish a blanket.
Yeah. So I'm just
Yeah.
start one. That's all I have to
Yeah.
do. I'm going to change the wording on this, but offload an old FO. So like I have a pile of shawls that I never wear.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm gonna see about gifting or selling or something some
You know what
finished
you do?
objects that I don't wear anymore because I've been knitting for 10 years. I have a lot of things. I don't need that many things.
You know what I'm going to suggest?
Hmm.
Contact the intake person for your local women's shelter
Mm.
for
Mm-hmm.
women who are battered and beaten and have to leave their partners because of domestic violence and donate it to them.
Sounds like a good thing to do. I'm sure we have one of those around here.
If you don't, your area should because it's a problem everywhere.
Yes.
Yep. And if you don't, there's no way there isn't one near your brother. He's in a very large metropolitan city area. They absolutely will have several.
Oh, definitely. I
Yeah.
also have sell a pattern on here. So not
Well,
just
you'd
design
have
a
to.
pattern, but I have to put it up and I want to sell one copy of a pattern. That's the goal next year. One single
Okay.
copy.
One pattern, one time. All right. It's good
Yeah.
goals. Good goals. They're nice,
Yeah,
achievable.
achievable.
Achievable. They're nice,
Yeah.
achievable goals. I'm with you.
And then vintage knit and vintage crochet. So pull out
Ooh.
some old vintage pattern.
Hmm.
So like, I guess that's 1980s or earlier.
Anything 40 years or older is technically vintage. So
Okay,
everything
80s
older
or
than
earlier.
me. Yep.
So yeah, vintage knit, vintage crochet. Things I want to do
Good
next
thing.
year.
Good thing that we follow podcasters here on YouTube that are vintage knitting podcasters and
I
vintage
know.
crochet podcasters.
It's a good thing
I
I
may
have
have
a
made
whole
a
bunch of like 1940s
oh,
knitting patterns.
I may have made a shawl based off one of those patterns earlier this year.
Melanie says, I'm vintage
Absolutely.
then. Congratulations.
So am I. I'm very excited. I
I'm,
didn't
what,
count that.
nostalgic? Is 30 years nostalgia? 40 years is vintage?
I don't know. I didn't even know
Uh,
40 years was vintage for the longest time.
50 makes it. At what point is it antique? That's 100?
I have no idea. I'd actually have to Google if vintage is anything older than 40 years, what is antique?
I'm going to say 100,
Sure.
but I don't know.
That would
It might
make
also
it
depend what it is.
1920.
Yeah.
Anything
Because I feel like
1920
if
or
you have
earlier
a
is antique.
if you have a computer from the 1970s, that's pretty antique in terms of computers.
Yeah.
But a car from the 1970s is only vintage. It's
That's a
not
that's a
antique.
one's a classic.
But if you have a car from the 1920s, that's an antique.
Yeah. Have you ever ridden like in a Model T4?
No.
They're so
But I would
cool.
love to.
No suspension. It hurt my backside, and I was a
Oh, I
teenager,
bet.
and I
Yeah.
bruised my keister.
No, they were all
Oh,
about being solid and absolutely zero crumple zones in suspension.
I was an interesting endeavor. I did when I was a teenager in Brandon. I had a working one. There's like I also had a high school friend that him and his dad for several years their project was to restore a classic convertible that like doesn't have or has like the old radio, but like they had to modify it to put seatbelts in because it didn't have seatbelts.
Yeah, yeah. Well, things didn't have seatbelts until like, what, the 70s, 80s?
Somewhere in
Later?
there. No.
Nikki confirms 100 years old is antique, and Sherry says, you better
Okay.
not say 50 is antique, I will throw hands.
God, if I say 50's antique, my mother's coming for me. That's a bad idea for my lifespan habits. Nope. I don't. Nope. Vintage. Okay. So I'm vintage, but I have to be 100 to be antique. All right.
Yeah.
Still don't want to
It's my
live to
goal to live
100,
to
but
be an
that's okay.
antique, but that's a while away yet.
I do no, absolutely not. uh, the idea that I'm not even
111.
no, I don't
11D1.
wanna.
Going for
No,
11D1.
I don't even want 100. Just think about that. If the average human lifespan was 100, I mean average, which we're that's not what the average human lifespan
No,
is.
it's 80 something.
Is it 80 something or is it
In
lower
this
than that?
country, yeah, it's 80 something. I want to say it's like 86 for women and 84 for men or something. It's 80 something.
What stats are we pulling from? Just the Caucasian upper white middle class stats?
I mean, maybe. Average in Canada,
Uh-huh.
last time I checked,
So,
was 80 something.
Cool. So yeah, we're only sensing people that, yeah, sure. Okay, I'm not gonna believe that number.
Well,
I want somebody to go through and check birth date records. Let's historical up this stuff properly.
I mean, like in like this year, the average age that people are dying at is 80 something.
I know for a fact that's not true. I know for a fact that's
Average.
not true. No way. There is no way the average is 80 if I have been to more funerals the course of my lifetime for people who weren't in their 80s than I ever have for people who made it to their 80s.
Apparently, Google
No way.
says 81 and 75 is average age.
That's just total what? Are you
Liz says my
nuts?
dad is 100.
I mean, that's a hell of an age to get to, but I don't like the idea of living to 50 and then realize I have 50 more years to go. No, absolutely not. Absolutely not.
No,
80
I'm
seems
going for
like
11
way
there's genetic precedent
more.
for it in my
The
family
idea,
if I don't get some kind of horrible disease,
the idea of another 40
which is a lot
years
more
of just kind of
precedent for.
like, ugh. Another 4 decades? I mean, sure, if I gotta, but I literally had a cousin pass away last week. Wasn't even in his 50s. I would like to know where they're pulling their statistical data from, because I'm pretty sure it's not the reserves and it's not from lower income families.
Well, average.
Oh, just blows my mind. Blows my mind. That's going to be a crusade now. It'll be my new soapbox. Can we get accurate data, please?
I'm saying that's the average. There's obviously going to be, because it's the average, half the people that are dying are going to be younger than that. Some of them are going to be significantly younger than that.
Oh, I know, but just like, why are you saying just? Oh, I've got a whole problem with that concept of average.
Okay.
But I
How
mean,
about
I
median
don't
men?
means the same thing. I also have a problem with the first past the
No,
post
average
election
and median are
profiles that they
different.
have.
Median
Okay, I can give you enough
age.
mathematically that they're going to be different, but how we use the words in reference to things,
Ah, median. Sorry.
because
Median
technically,
life
technically,
expectancy Canada. So that's average. That's life expectancy. Whatever.
because it's like,
Anyway,
I know mathematically they're separate words, but I don't think we use them separately. I think we use the words interchangeably.
but for in terms of like government stuff, because they use the life expectancy age for
Technically,
like
yeah,
pensions and all that.
yeah. Technically, they are different words, but that's also like saying alpha is means one thing when we know it doesn't. It means two very different things.
Oh, average life expectancy at birth in the following provinces territories. Okay,
Okay,
it's 85 years in BC, 83 to
okay.
84 in Alberta, Ontario, Quebec, and
Hmm.
73 to 83 in the rest of them for women.
See, that
And
makes more sense.
for men, it's
Tends to be lower.
79 in BC, also Alberta, Ontario, Quebec, and then 70 to 80 in the rest of the country for men.
Yeah. So that makes more sense. Like at the top end of that average being the 80, that makes more sense. Rather than it being like right in the middle. At the top end of the middle, that makes more sense.
So
That makes more
80-ish,
sense. Yeah, I
depending
mean,
on where you live and your gender and everything else.
you can't plan for that many
Ish.
years anyway. That's just silliness talking. But sure, you aim for 100. I'm
That's the
stopping at
goal. See,
80.
if I aim for 100 and then, I fall short at 85, that's still a really good run.
Just I'm done. 80. I'm done. I'm absolutely done. No more
If you're
after
still
that.
kicking at 80, just like pull the plug.
I'm still kicking at 80. I'm going to look at you and go, this is all your fault. And your live longer vibes. Bleh.
No, I'm
Entirely
going for
your fault.
11-1. That's the goal. I'm going to have my Hobbit birthday on my 11st birthday. I'm going to have a Hobbit themed birthday. And then I can go. After that, it's
And
fine.
no one is going to understand what any of that reference means because it's going to be
No, because I will
so
talk about it
old.
incessantly and I will make sure everybody knows what
So
the heck I'm talking
old.
about.
your great nieces and nephews, will you have two at that point? Possibly.
I don't know.
Will just be like, yeah, that's our great Auntie Diana. She's just a weird old person. Don't listen to
Yeah,
her.
I will be that weird old person. I absolutely will.
So long as you know that's what your your
Yeah,
your
that's the
goal
goal.
in life
That's
is.
the
Okay.
goal.
Mine's
I
Red
have a
Hat Purple
goal.
Dress Club Society.
You know, I legitimately want to see if I can join that like now. Like, do I have to wait? Can I just join up tomorrow?
After I think it's like your 40s or 50s, you can become a pink hatter where you get to wear the light shade of purple and the pink hat. But I think you have to be, and then you age into the Red Hat Purple Dress Club Society. I want to age into the Red Hat Purple Dress Club
Red
Society.
Hat
I want
Society.
pink
Let's
red
find out.
hats
Let's learn
and
together.
purple dresses.
Red Hat
My
Society.
grandma was a member of the Red Hat Purple Dress Club Society for a very long time. It's a delight. It's a social club. It's a delightful social club. I hope it's still around. Be sad
No,
if it
they've got a
wasn't anymore.
website, so
That doesn't really mean anything, but okay.
how to get started. Hang on. I'm reading stuff.
Yeah, yeah.
Start by reading it. Okay.
I was allowed to go
Jump.
sometimes as my grandma's guest. I would wear my purple skirt that I had at the time because I wasn't a
Okay,
red
there's
hatter.
nothing about age on this website.
I have no
Is it
idea.
in Canada? Yes.
It was huge in America. I remember a photo my grandpa took, and he was in Vegas one time with grandma and the Red Hatters, and the sea of red hats went down the block. Could you just imagine Las Vegas being taken over by the Red Hat Purple Dress Club Society? Just a
Oh, that would
sea
be
of little old ladies. I want to do that so bad.
glorious.
I
Okay,
want
there's
to
a
be one of those
membership fee. Who
people.
knew?
Oh yeah, yeah, absolutely. They're a club.
Member application. Here we go.
Guys, I also want to ride the trolleys in San Francisco, and I want to
Thank you.
go on a ghost tour in New Orleans, and I can't see in the dark. And I am not coordinated enough anymore to get on and off of moving anything. I am not coordinated enough to get on and off on unmoving anything. I am ridiculously klutzy. I injured my hand by making my bed. I'm not meant for the outdoors. I'm aware of this. And all the funness. On the bright side, we're done, so we can let everybody go back to their days.
All right,
You
I'm
and I
gonna learn
have
about
more
the Red
work.
Hat Society and find out what it actually
You're in.
what's required to
You're
join.
you're absorbed. But I know you and I've got other work that we need to get done today.
Yep, I need to eat
And
lunch.
you need food, and I need to walk away from the screen for a little bit.
Yep,
So that was our last bingo card check-in until the last week of December when we do the wrap up.
yep. Wrap up and setting up for the new year.
Yeah, it'll be exciting. All right. There is no outro because this is just bonus content. Guys, we will see you all on Saturday because we're going to be here for whip sprints.
Yes.
Bye.